Hello, good morning. How are
Good
you?
morning.
Hi, good
Morning.
morning.
Very well.
Good. Still sipping on the coffee.
And
Very
waiting
nice.
for the weekend
for the
to come.
weekend.
How were your weeks? Everything okay?
Yeah, pretty
Yes.
good. A lot of work, but yeah, that's to be expected because it's a lot of stuff to do.
Mhm.
Exactly. Different days. Some days are
Yeah.
full, some days are less full.
More
Each
But
day
relaxed.
has
it was a
its
good
own.
week.
Each day
This
has its
week
own
was
hustle, but
And how
this
was your week?
My week was good, also full, but Friday feels different. So I have nothing to complain about. It is at the end of the week, and I do have the energy for it.
yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So I would like to thank you for joining me in today's session, and I would like us to have just some short introduction on ourselves. I'm going to be very short with mine, just to tell you my name, Iuliana, and that I am a language trainer at Swiss Solutions. There we go. And
right.
I've been part of the team for the last 5 years. I had to calculate actually this morning to think how many years passed. And I was surprised to think that there were 5. And
Wow.
you know what they say, time flies when you're
having fun.
having fun. There we go. And I would like to also hear from you. Anything that you would like to share with us today? You can start as you wish.
I'm Isabella. I love pandas. They are my passion through day and night. I have everything you can imagine with a panda. What else? I love traveling. I have a background in law, in international and European law, but I also love languages. I'm trying to learn Dutch at the moment, but also want to expand my knowledge in the fields of financial and technical and medical English.
Super nice. Thank you very much for sharing.
Um, can I go on?
Of course,
Yeah.
yes.
Hi, my name is Alexia. I'm almost 28 years old. I'm a project manager. I work in the medical division here. I graduated like 4 years ago at the West University of Timișoara. Foreign languages, English and Russian. Unfortunately, I didn't continue translating, but I still work in this field, so it's very nice. As for my hobbies, I like to travel a lot. That's my passion number one. I like to take long walks to the park or everywhere in the city. I like to go to the gym to play tennis. And I think that's all. That's a short introduction.
Hmm. I do have one question. Do you miss translations? Doing them yourself?
Well, I didn't translate at all.
Okay.
I just studied translation, and at the end, I realized that it was not for me. So I continue on the different direction. But I do not. I don't regret learning English or Russian or learning linguistic in general. It was nice.
Yes, there's different sides to languages, and the translation was also not for me when I made the decision to become a teacher. There was a split there. We were not on the same page. Translations
Exactly.
and I actually quite ironical because we do translations on pages, but I was not on that one. So yes,
Exactly as well for me. I love
thank
to
you.
learn different languages, but not to translate them.
Hmm. Same. Thank you for sharing this. And
Thank
last
you
but
as
not
well.
least, Gabriel, what would you like to share
Hey,
with us?
my name is Gabriel, and I'm the marketing guy here at the agency. I work in an office with 20-something women, so for the men out there, you can do it if you want to, and you have patience. I like to travel a lot. I've been to 30-something countries, and think it's the greatest gift that one can give to himself or herself to get on a plane and just go and meet people and enjoy their culture and see the truth with your own eyes, not what they show you on Fox News. And yeah, besides that, I don't know. I like to read. I like to do card tricks. And
Card tricks?
yeah. I've been
What
doing
is that?
like magic, like illusions,
Card
magic.
tricks. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been
Sorry,
doing it since I was 7, and have like 100 decks of playing cards, and I love the. I don't really like to perform because I'm a little nervous, but I do it for my colleagues, and they seem pretty impressed. So I'm getting better at it.
All right. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
thought you said the car tricks, and I was directly thinking at my parking lot and how I heard rumors about them doing a car drifting in it. I said,
No,
you do
no.
that as well?
No,
No.
not at all. No. My 2005 Opel Astra wouldn't let me do that. So I'll stick to card magic. It's better.
Just as fine.
Yeah.
Right. Perfect. Thank you very, very much for sharing all this info. Now, to tell you a little bit about the plan today. So we have 3 main activities. The first one would be an icebreaker activity, something that is a surprise to you today. Then for the second one, we'll go a little bit into more business English, and I have some domains for you, some articles, some questions that I will address to you. And we will also have time at the end for you to address questions in between yourselves, a moment in which I step back and then you step in, which is also very, very important for me, especially at your advanced level, for me to give you the floor completely. But I'll guide you to that when we get to that. We start with the icebreaker. Just a reminder, please feel free to speak. It is important for me to make you feel comfortable, to make mistakes because I recommend them, I actually believe in them, and then to develop what is called autocorrection in time. So that being said, I would like us to start with Isa. I want us to know from you in English what a mop is. Can you tell us what a mop is?
What a map?
A mop, M-O-P?
Yes, it's the tool you use to clean your floors with, I think. I'm not sure.
Like something to sweep the floors with?
Yeah, you use water and some floor soap and chemicals, and then you use it to clean your floors, I think.
Mm-hmm. But what's the difference then between a broom and the mop? Could I not use the broom instead?
Well, with the broom, you only use it for dry surfaces, so you can't add the water, but with the mop, you use it, as I said, with the liquid formula. So they're shinier and cleaner.
So I cannot use it without water? Can I just sweep with my mop?
I mean, there are all kinds of mops on the market. I'm assuming some of them might be a dry version.
Of it? Okay, very, very good. I'll let you know at the end what the objective of this exercise is, but thank you very much for your description. Next word goes to Alexia, and the word is eyelid. What is an eyelid?
Eyelid.
Yes.
I guess that's the skin that covers the eye when you close it. I guess that's this part of the face. It practically closes and opens when you blink.
So it does open and close, but why?
Because that's how we are made to blink, and I don't know exactly what's the purpose of an eyelid, but practically to cover the eye from external bacteria, dust, other.
And how does one blink? Do we do it simultaneously? Do we do it with one eye and then the other? How does it go?
Normal people do it simultaneously, but we can do it with one eye or another if you want to blink to someone.
Okay, wink.
Wink, wink, exactly.
Very good. Thank you very much for
Thank
the
you as well.
explanation as well. And again, last but not least, it is not my intention to ask you last, Gabriel, but your word is a cigarette. I really don't know what a cigarette is.
So a cigarette is a product that you put in your mouth. It looks like this. It's like it's like a small tube, but not tube. Like you put it in your mouth and then you smoke it. You basically lit it on fire and then you inhale the things inside the cigarette and then you exhale the smoke. And it's pretty bad for you, but yeah, sometimes after a hearty meal, it's nice to just lean back and have one. Unfortunately, not all the time, but sometimes, like once a week, or I sometimes do it. But then your fingers smell funny, so I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay, but you said you light it on fire, so of course that made a very vivid picture in my mind. So is it like an explosion when you light it on fire?
No, actually, it's pretty tame. You just light the top of it, like the end of it on fire, and then the other end goes into your mouth, and then that's when you get the smoke inside. You just inhale through the cigarette, and then the smoke comes out when you're done with the inhalation.
And another
Actually,
question that I have. Yes, please.
I actually never described a cigarette, and it's pretty hard.
Thank you. You just told us the objective of this exercise to describe things that we do know in our mother language, but we have never described in either.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very good exercise to go in details for descriptions, for let's say just having a very, very detailed conversations. And I love it. This one with the mop, I use all the time. Cigarettes, sometimes, depending if the group is smoking or not. They are smokers or not, but I love it. So that was the first activity. I think I had another question about cigarettes, but let's just quit that topic.
Yeah, that's the best
and
thing
maybe
you can do.
the habit as well. Goody. Now, to continue, I'm going to share my screen with our little plan for the next 5 to 6 minutes. Now, I know your field of work, so I know the departments that you work for, and I try just to make a split and to have a conversation based on this. Now, I will have questions for you separately, and then, as I told you at the beginning, I will give the floor to you, and then you continue the list of questions that you may have for your colleagues. Again, giving the floor to you. And we're going to start with Gabriel this time. And I would like to ask you, based on this marketing concept that says bad marketing is still good marketing. Is that something that you agree with?
Partially. I mean, marketing is marketing. It's a very broad thing to talk about. I think that the thing that we want to say here is bad advertising. It's still advertising or something like that, because marketing is it implies everything, like social media, ads, blogs. But yeah, we can say that most advertising is good, even if it's a little bad for your product or company.
Okay, makes sense. Very, very good. I think they just took it to a next level now, maybe with the influencers trying to create scandals for them to get more viewers. So in that regard, but that also comes farther away from what marketing is supposed to be. So they just exaggerated with
Yes,
this.
it is a little bit exaggerated and a little bit, scandalous at times. But again, if we're talking about bad marketing, that's what you want to do something that people will see instantly, and a lot of people, you have to make it viral, and you can't make it viral just by being tame. You have to be a little bit, exaggerated and
To stand out. Yes.
yeah. And one of the ways to one of the most efficient ways to stand out is to be ridiculous.
To make fun of yourself, or to have scandals around you. I noticed
yes.
that.
Yeah, in that regard, yes. To make a little bit of a scandal, and people will immediately flock to see what's it's all about.
Yes. It's a shame if you ask me, but I do get it. And I'm happy that I don't work as an influencer.
There are many other ways to do it right. And yeah.
This is not it.
This is not
okay.
It. No.
Very good. Thank you. My next question goes to Alexia, and I would like to ask you about translations, let's say medical translations to be more specific, and tell me what is making them, what I wanted to ask you what makes them accurate. But rather than that, tell me why accuracy is important in medical translations.
Well, medical translation could actually save save a life or damage a life or damage your body or your mind, because if you translate differently from what the doctors says or I don't know, evaluates on a paper, and you go to, I don't know, a foreign country to interpret those medical analysis, and someone translated left arm to right arm, and you need to operate, and you don't speak the foreign language, and all the connection you have to that hospital is that translation, you may end up badly to, I don't know, get to be operated on a different arm, or you get a wrong diagnosis only based on someone's bad translation. But that could also be the case for medical devices translation, because doctors are trained based on someone's translations to that medical device, and if that translation is bad or not accurate, that precision cannot be as good as if someone read instructions that are clear. So I guess that medical field is one of the most important ones when it comes to translation, because lives are at stake, and it's as I work in this field, and the translation into medical domains are most required. I guess that medical companies choose to work with an expert to translate, or with a doctor, and not to do it in-house. And I guess that's because they want something accurate, and they want a professional to translate medical text.
Makes sense. I wouldn't like to be the one doing any of that. I really, really wouldn't.
Me
I
neither.
did have
It's very
some dreams of becoming a doctor, but they ended. So
Yes.
I'm done with that. Okay.
Yes, it's a
Very, very good.
very vigorous procedure to translate medical texts, and
Of course.
yes, important.
Yes, I do have an example that touches on what you said before about, having maybe the right arm cut instead of the left. So I do have, for the next part, a question related to that. But thank you for your answer so far. And now it's you, Isan, last but not least. My question for you is pertaining to legal, but more on the fun side. I would like us to think about the other countries to which suing is a way of life. And I want to give you an example that appeared in a supermarket. They had a big banner with a promotion for donuts, and there was a big picture of the donut and the said price. And under this image read, this donut is not at actual size. Why is that? Why does that need to be clarified to some customers?
Well, because I think we're all we're aware of the McDonald's case and false advertisement. And sometimes false advertisement might lead to customers suing the companies and therefore getting damages. As it is mentioned on the screen, damages are money that the defendant pays the plaintiff. However, what is very interesting about damages is that there are different types. You can have not only money, but you can receive counseling if you're emotional damaged, to say so. But I think it goes to the core of making sure you do not you don't get tricked by companies, because sometimes false advertisements, and it goes back to the marketing section. It happens all the time. I mean, we see it on social platforms. We see it on big companies like Shane or sometimes even Amazon, eBay. And sometimes people do pay a big sum of money for products.
So what, you go to the shelf with donuts and then you see the small ones, oh, this is not what I wanted to get today. So then you sue the supermarket. I get it, but it's just,
I mean, if we refer to America, we are well aware that a lot of cases happen in America where people do sue a lot.
yes.
It's quite a sensitive topic to touch on.
Yes.
But I think it's interesting to talk about this, because in a lot of cases things are already self-explanatory. But sometimes it's better to have more explanation, just to cover your legal consequences, to say so.
Yeah, there we go. Very, very good. So this was the part in which I addressed the questions to you, and now it is your time to shine, now that you haven't already. And I would like us to do a sort of circle or a round of questions to which I will not participate. I will give you the info before. I give you two topics. One of them that you can see now on my screen is about what Alexia mentioned before, that because of an error in translation, one person got into surgery and his healthy kidney was removed instead of the unhealthy one. So just with this information in mind, if you have a question that you will address to one of your colleagues, that's fine. Doesn't have to be something very, very specific. So it can be this topic or the other one, which refers to what is considered bad marketing. McDonald's made a commercial in the past where a son that loses his father thinks about him and the way that they used to share a sandwich, a burger from them. So these are your two topics. I'm going to go back to my main shared screen here. Actually, I can stop sharing for you to see one another better. And we're going to start like this. So you, Isa, I would like you to ask Alexia a question based on the two topics. After her answer, then she goes ahead and asks another question, addresses it to Gabriel, and then we close the circle from the question from Gabriel to Isa. And this is the moment where I become silent, I'm listening, and you have the floor.
Okay. Hey, Alexia.
Hey, Isa.
So regarding the wrong removal of kidneys, how, from your experience as a project manager, from what you saw in the contents, how often does this actually happen? How often do you think it actually happens?
Well, depends on who you translate with.
Okay.
For example, in our cases, we take all measures that nothing similar to this happens. So our translation, our medical translation, go to more people to check the accuracy, and usually it's very rarely to this to happen, especially when medics look around the translation, or revisers look at the end to check the final translation before sending it to the client. And in my experience, before making the file public, or before going to the medic, our clients take a look at the translation so that cases like this never happen. So before applying the translation, there are many people that check it. So nowadays, it's very rarely that mistakes like this happen. And mainly, one of the reasons is because we have very good translators, especially on the medical field. We work only with well-trained translators that are tested, and I can never guarantee, of course, that their translations are accurate, but I feel safe when I know that there are many people that check the translations before they are going to the client.
Thank you.
You're
You
welcome.
too. So in conclusion, our kidneys are safe.
Yes,
Good to
are
know.
in good hands.
There you go.
Thank you. Continue.
Gabriel,
Yep.
as I understand, companies as huge as McDonald's do mistakes in marketing. Do you think that those marketing advertisements shouldn't be, I don't know, checked by many, I don't know, much more people before making it public? I don't know. I don't think that one person thought about, let's make this advertisement and make it public, and that's my idea and finish. I think that it's a team behind it, and I don't know how mistakes like this can be made, especially given the large audience of people. I don't know what's the exact procedure as a marketing guy.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that McDonald's has like maybe 100 people working in their marketing department at least, and every single one of those people are ranked. So it starts from the bottom. They think of the ideas, then it goes a little bit upper to the more, exec people, and then so on and so on until they reach the absolute top of the line where the decisions are made. But when the decision comes in, it's already like the ad itself, and those people have the the responsibility to really look at the ad and see if they exploit things like sadness or grief, or how it was in the demo in the article, like exploiting grief. It's not morally, ethically correct. I would never do that as a marketer. Instead, I would go for exploiting like things like fun stuff or mistakes that we made, like we do at the agency. We are very open in that regard, but we never make fun of translators, or we like to make fun of ourselves if that's the case, in a fun way and playful, but never make fun of people like clients or people that work for us and stuff like that. That's the line that they shouldn't cross. And being so big, these decisions are made. They go through the process, but then the people at the top, maybe they're having like I don't know, a bad day, or they just don't, they see it as good. It doesn't have to be like an intentional mistake. Maybe they just saw the ad and think, okay, this is a good idea, but after they get published, the harshest critics are the public itself, and then the public will tell you, you're crazy, this is not good. They will tell you immediately. You can't escape the public. And yeah, then some people are going to get fired. But I think corporations like McDonald's and big corporations, they have to come out and say, yes, we're sorry, this wasn't good enough, and we're going to try better in our next try. So apologies are very important when you're doing marketing that affects millions, billions of people.
Yeah.
I have a very, very short mention just for this to be clear that McDonald's is not sponsoring this video. Okay. Not that with the information we present,
just to be clear, this happened at Subway, happened at KFC, and all the big fast food brands. So I have an example for each and every one of them, but we don't have the time.
Yes, fortunately. But we can continue with the next question. So we do have time for that one, of course.
Yeah. So Isa, you talked about legal very, very nicely, and I know you're very passionate about it. So suppose I go to the operating room, God forbid, and they get out my wrong kidney. What can I do after the initial shock of me knowing that I'm left with one bad kidney? What can I do on a legal front to?
Well, it depends a lot on the circumstances. I mean, since you travel a lot, I will need to get a bit more clarification, because are you going to be in a foreign country or are you going to be in your home country? Because if you're in a foreign country, then we need to discuss about jurisdictions, which is, temporal, rational. There are various implications depending on where you need to open a file.
Well, I hope I'm not in America.
Pick a scenario.
I hope I'm not in America because I couldn't afford to open I have to sell my house and my mom's house
and the other kidney.
And the other kidney, so I'm left with no kidneys. Suppose we are in Romania.
So you want to be in a foreign jurisdiction, not your own country.
No, let's suppose we are in Romania. Let's say we're here.
Okay, I think in this situation, Alexa, please correct me if I'm wrong. As I mentioned in the beginning, I'm not big in the medical field. I'm here to learn. As far as I'm aware, there are malpractice cases that can be opened. And I'm not sure if you sue the medic itself, the team, or the hospital. However, in most cases that I know, if you sue the doctor, they will get their license removed and maybe their whole capacity to act as a doctor. And the compensation itself, the damages, will be financial most of the time. So, I mean, in some situation, if you are left without any kidneys, maybe they can give you a transplant for free if the judge awards it.
I mean, I hope, because it's very hard to function without a kidney, like
a jar of kidneys.
Yeah.
So, I hope this clarifies your questions.
Yeah.
Please let me know if I can be of further assistance.
Somewhat clarifies. My thought was they're going to give me the kidney bag or something, because if they give me $1 million, what could I do with it? Because, buying a kidney is illegal. So maybe they could somehow, repair their mistake.
I don't know, but I think in most cases they will put you on transplant lists, and you would not have to pay, and the insurance wouldn't have to cover for that transplant or procedure. I think this is how it is. Okay. I'm not sure. I need to mention I'm not sure about this. It's just from my knowledge, because when I studied law, it was more of a general field. I mean, we studied the big articles from the civil codes from different countries, and then, as mentioned, I focused on international law more than national. This is why I asked you in the beginning if you are in a foreign country or.
This is why I told you Romania, because I know you were into international law, and I wanted to trick you.
You want to challenge me. I see. I see you trickster.
But what I liked the most was that, God forbid, okay, no matter what country, God forbid, we knock on wood for this not to be the case. All right. So we're running out of time a little bit. I wish we were able to continue having lovely conversations, but instead we would need to say goodbye at this point. But before this, I really, really want to appreciate your help today and your openness and your friendliness, and how easy it was for me to communicate with you. And I really mean it. And thank you very, very much for it. I'm going to stop the recording in maybe 1 minute, but I do want to give you a last word if there's anything that you'd like to either ask me or just say.
We want to thank you very much as well for taking the time to present this and to organize this. It means a lot to us too.
Yes, it was very nice talking to you, all of you.
If this is how my English lesson would have looked 20 years ago, I think I would have known much more English.
Yes.
Maybe more grammar.
Exactly. It's very useful.
And you would have loved it more. And in the end, that's what's important, not to hate the language. And I know it sounds like cheesy, but I do have a lot of students that were either traumatized, and I'm sorry to use this word, but that's the reality, by other teachers in school, mid-school, high school, and they just stopped learning. So for me, what's important is for you to keep loving the language, and the rest just comes naturally. So let's do this.
Yeah.
Love
Thank you.
English and
Yeah.
enjoy the weekend that's
The
coming
weekend,
next.
yes.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely
All
you
the
as
best
well.
to you.